The United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, which Canada actually signed in 1991, says that governments are responsible for ensuring that children's rights are respected and that children know about their rights. And one way they accomplish this is by mandating prevention and intervention responsibilities to community organizations all over the world, including, of course, right here in Canada. So with that in mind, today we're going to learn about Bulle Baluchon, the reference and the training center for the prevention of violence against children in Quebec's Eastern Townships. Hello again, my name is Ed Humphrey, and welcome to About Townshippers. Now, in a nutshell, this web series is all about discovery. It's a chance for you to learn about the services, the programs, and the activities that are available to English speakers throughout the townships. And it's also a great chance for you to meet, well, the organizations and the individuals that make all those services possible. Rebecca Struss and Jade McMahon are both counselors and facilitators at Bulle Baluchon. And mainly through a variety of educational workshops, they and their colleagues raise awareness and help children and adults avoid and prevent violence against children. And there's even more good news. They offer their services in French and they offer their services in English. So let's jump in and learn all about Bulle Baluchon. Well, good morning, Rebecca and Jade, and welcome to About Townshippers.
Thank you. Yes, here.
Well, let's jump right in. Rebecca, to start off with, I want to concentrate on a bit of on the name of your organization. It's such a unique name, Bulle Baluchon. Where does that come from?
Yeah, so it's actually a symbolic name, but it goes further back than just the name. So prior to 2006, we were actually called Espace Estrie, and we're a part of the Regroupement des Organismes Espace du Québec. But in 2006, we decided to become independent and go by Bulle et Baluchon. So Bulle signifies bubble, which refers to having your own personal space around you. And Baluchon refers to the tips and tricks that we give all of the kids in their own personal bindle or Baluchon during our workshops. And Bulle Baluchon are also the two characters that you'll see all over our promotional materials. So they're on our website, they're on our PowerPoints, they're on our pamphlets, they're on our posters, etc.
So it's also a branding strategy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Hey, Jade, when we, it's kind of a strange example, but when we study for our driver's license, right? They really teach us how to be defensive drivers and to kind of have our radar on and be able to kind of have eyes behind the back of our heads and be defensive drivers. Now at Bulle Baluchon, that's kind of what you guys do with your workshops, right? I mean, the goal is to help equip children and I guess adults to avoid or to be less vulnerable to all forms of violence. So, and you've done it with, if I'm not mistaken, with over 87,000 kids in the townships.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about your mission and 87,000 kids. That's a lot of kids.
Yes. So throughout the years, we offer different programs for children ages 4 to 12 years old. And we also have similar programs for adults, whether they are parents, educators, or basically any group of adults interested to receive our workshops. We are at Bulle Baluchon right now, 2 teams of 2 facilitators working together. And most of our time, we're hosting children's programs. And each one of them consists of 1 to 6 workshops that we hold in classrooms across the Eastern Township. They can vary from 45 minutes to an hour and a half long. And we're using stories, skits, videos, discussions, and scenarios to cover a variety of topics that can range from simply recognizing emotions, self-esteem, assertiveness, all the way to definitions of different forms of violence with the older students, as well as solutions on how to react when faced with violence. And all of our programs are adapted depending on the age groups. And our vision is always to leave the kids feeling empowered and knowing what to do when they're faced with any kind of violent situation around them.
That's quite a hefty mandate. isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, and you do it with the adults as well. So, Rebecca, what would the main difference be between the workshops that you deliver to youth and then the ones that in which the adults take part?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the main difference really has to do with the objectives of the workshop. So while the children's workshops are more focused on providing them with tools and solutions on how to face these types of violences, the adults programs are more geared towards equipping them with how to identify violence in the lives of the children around them and what kinds of tools they can give to those children. So that way the mission can continue on with them.
Now, as of this fall, you guys are going to be delivering workshops and you're going to be delivering your services in English, which is a wonderful thing. And now, do you foresee any differences between the needs of English speakers and French speakers as far as your workshops are concerned?
Well, at this time, it's hard to predict exactly what those differences would be, but yes, we're anticipating some differences between both communities. Before launching our programs, we did some research on the Anglophone community to get a better understanding of their cultures and particularities. And what came up the most was that they can be sometimes limited by which resources are available and accessible to them, depending on distance and if a bilingual services is offered or not. But that being said, we're always welcoming the opportunity to learn and adapt our services so that we can properly do our job and to be of help for them. And obviously our programs are constantly being worked on throughout the year to make sure that they best fit the needs of all communities, so both in French and in English.
Do you go to the schools or do you have a facility where you can do workshops on where you at your offices?
Yeah, that's a good point. We're the one going to schools and classrooms. So we're covering the whole Eastern Townships and we're going in classes. So no one's coming to the office. We're going to them.
And that was the case before the pandemic as well, right? So
yeah.
So you guys have a mobile team that moves around.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And now you guys are really prevention and education, but you guys, if I understand correctly, you guys keep your eyes open if there's some red flags in the groups or the individuals with whom you meet. But you guys aren't a service center per se. If someone is experiencing, if there's children that are experiencing violence, they don't necessarily go to you. Is that correct? Or am I mistaken?
Well, sometimes we'll get people who contact us or will come and talk to us during a workshop. And Jade, I think you can probably speak more to this a little bit later, but in those situations, we're happy to refer those clients to someone who can better fit their needs.
Okay.
When we're doing interventions, it's always only on the short term. So when we're in school, in that particular school or class, but after that, like Rebecca said, if we encounter a situation that needs more services, we'll refer to someone else or someone directly at the school, the DYP, or any other resources that is good for them.
Okay, I understand. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't, that we understand correctly what the services are that you guys provide. Now, what can someone expect, whether it's an adult, a school, or facilitator? What can they expect when they first contact you guys? What when they first contact, but what's the process after someone's contacted you?
Yeah, so we usually receive two different kinds of requests from the community. The first one is if someone is looking for assistance or seeking help for a personal situation, then in that case, we'll take obviously the time to listen to their concerns and like we just said, refer them to the appropriate resources. If on the other hand, someone is calling to book or to know more about our programs and workshops, then our administrator will explain to them who we are, our mission, and what kind of workshops we offer. And they'll evaluate together the need of the person calling, and they'll suggest an appropriate program for them. If that person calling is asking for a specific topic, then that's when our team of facilitators will become involved in the process of planning to see if that demand can be addressed.
And for someone that wants to reach out, or if someone is curious and wants more information, Jade, what's the best way for people to get information or get in contact with you guys?
So anyone looking for information can visit our newly translated website. It's at bullebaluchon.org/en. On there, they'll find descriptions of all of our workshops, as well as annual activities reports, and many more, simply information about our mission as well, our values. If they're looking for services or workshops, they can contact us either by mail at info@bullebaluchon.org, or they can always call us at the office at 819-822-6046.
And that number again?
819-822-6046.
There you go. You could be a good salesperson. And do you guys are you guys on social media?
Yeah, we have a Facebook page, but I don't know if we have anything else.
Okay. Well, that's still, we got the address, we got the phone number. We've got two great people that we can contact. Well, look, Rebecca Struss, you're a facilitator and counselor at, actually you both are facilitators and counselors at Bulle Baluchon. And Jade McMahon, thanks for being with us today. And what we'll do is we'll put all this information up, of course, and accessible on our Facebook page and on our social media, and we'll get the word out, and hopefully people that feel a need, whether it's classroom teachers or adults, feel a need to get more informed, well, they'll contact you guys and they'll go from there.
Great. Well, thank you for having us today.
Thank you.
Well, you've been very patient with me, so I appreciate that. So thanks for taking the time, and we'll see you next time. And there you go. Now, if you're an educator and or a parent and you'd like to learn more about the services and the workshops offered by Bulle Baluchon, well, you can find them on Facebook, and you can visit their website. And all their contact information will be down here in the video description. And to learn about other activities and services available to English speakers throughout the townships, well, there's a couple ways you can do that. You can visit Townshippers Association's Facebook page, you can visit our website, and we also have a YouTube channel. And that's also where you can catch up on past episodes of this web series, which is called About Townshippers. I'm called Ed Humphrey, and we'll see you next time.